If you are a casual runner, chances are that what matters to you most in a running shoe will be comfort on feet. We all need shoes that will protect our feet from the potential negative consequences of the repetitive stress of running, and also assist us to run for longer and safer, limiting injuries. That is why what you have on your feet matters. What you run in can be the difference between a run and a great run. The running shoe makers have gone a long way in using technology to help us reach that sweet spot. Hello people, it's your man Dr. CY once again, the running doc, and today I have with me 3 of the most comfortable running shoes of 2023 for review and comparison. Now these shoes all have something in common, and that is maximal cushioning and bounce for the ultimate running comfort. I have with me today the Nike Invincible Run Fly Knit 3, the Asics Gel Nimbus 25, and the Puma Foreverrun Nitro. I have put a minimum of 60 to 80 kilometers in each of these shoes, including long and short runs as well as fast and tempo runs. I've already made a detailed performance review of each of them, and you can check them out up here in my channel. So what I did now is to retest these 3 shoes again and compare notes. I ran 3.2 kilometers in each of these shoes consecutively and compared notes. Then the next day, I also did something different. I ran with one of these shoes in each leg for about 2.5 to 3 kilometers, and then I exchanged it and repeated the run, and also did the same with all the 3 shoes. So these are my findings. Now my comparative review will be based on the weight, the cushioning, response speed, lockdown, breathability, and all other features that are of interest to runners. At the end, I will try to see if I can answer one question, and that is, if I were to buy only one of these shoes today for running, which one will I go for? This video is, of course, my personal opinion from my experience running in these shoes. I bought all these shoes and I owe no one, no obligation. What I'm presenting in this video are my honest, unbiased opinion from my experience running in these shoes. So let's dive right into it. Of course, I will start with the weight. Now, the lightest of these shoes is the Puma Foreverrun Nitro, weighing 305 grams in my size, US 11 or EU 44.5. The Nimbus 25 comes second, weighing 316 grams in the same size, and the Invincible 3 weighs 335 grams. So the Puma scores first. On my feet, they felt very light, which is refreshing for such a high stack max cushion shoe. However, it's also noteworthy that the Puma Foreverrun Nitro has the least stack of the 3 shoes, which is 36 millimeters in the heel and 26 in the forefoot, giving a 10 millimeter heel-to-toe drop. The Invincible 3 has the highest stack of the 3, which is 40 millimeters, with a 9 millimeter heel-to-toe drop. I'm not so sure of the stack of the Nimbus 25, but I know it has an 8 millimeter heel-to-toe drop. But its stack is slightly lower than that of the Invincible 3 because I put the Invincible on one foot and put the Nimbus on the other foot, and the limb with the Nike felt just slightly higher than that of the Nimbus 25. So I will put the stack height of this around 38 to 39 millimeters. So let's go to the second point, which is cushioning. Now, for cushioning, it was very difficult for me to choose a winner here. All 3 models offers excellent max cushioning, but I will say the Nike probably just has an edge over the others. But running in any of these shoes in any mode, fast, slow, heel and forefoot striking, you are not going to feel any shock up your feet in any of these shoes at all. Now the third point is the response. The Nike is the clear winner here. Walking around, you will feel the bounce from the Nike more in every step. And when running, I enjoy that bounce, especially when I'm still full of energy and in the early miles. However, deep into the run, when I begin to tire, the weight of the Nike becomes obvious. The Foreverrun Nitro comes second. The decent response from the Nitro foam coupled with its light weight helps you to bounce along very well. The Nimbus brings up the rear when it comes to response, but it's still decently responsive though. But I found that it lagged just behind the other 2. The fourth point I will consider is the ride. Both the Nimbus 25 and the Invincible 3 offered the smoothest ride. It was difficult for me to choose a winner here. They both offered sweet transitions from landing to takeoff, but the lighter weight of the Nimbus nicked it for me. The Puma Foreverrun, on the other hand, didn't offer as much smooth transition. It is flatter than the other 2, and the forefoot slaps the ground as you transition. With a more rocker shape, it probably would have dusted the other 2. I found that its less smooth transition led to more pressure on the toes at takeoff than the other 2. Now, this is important if you remember the runner's toe, which is that black nail you get from long or frequent runs. It is usually as a result of the repetitive trauma to the nail bed, leading to rupture of the capillaries beneath the nails. Now, this can lead to black nails and pain, and sometimes the loss of the nail itself. The perfect arch of the Invincible 3 means that your feet rolls nicely from landing to takeoff with hardly any pressure in the toes. This was less so in the Nimbus 25, and the pressure was most in the Foreverrun. So here I will say the Nimbus comes first, followed by the Invincible, and lastly the Foreverrun. The fifth point is the arch support. Now the choice here is very easy. The Invincible 3 has the perfect arch support among all three shoes. It cuffs gently up to meet the arch of my foot in a very nice way. The second is the Nimbus 25. The Foreverrun, though coming third, still has a pretty decent arch support. Now the sixth point, which I consider, is the stability. This is also a no contest. The Foreverrun is the clear winner here for me, offering fantastic pronation control. The Nimbus 25 follows suit, while the Invincible comes third. The third point is comfort. Now, all these three shoes were pretty supportive and comfortable on feet, but I feel the Nimbus and Invincible do stand out. Making a choice of a winner between these two was a little tough, as they offered something slightly different. It's like having to choose between an apple and an orange. While the Nike Invincible 3 gives a firmer, bouncier feel, the Nimbus gives a plush, soft underfoot feel due to the Ultralight insole. Since I'm a sucker for softness, of course I will go for the Nimbus 25. Its upper also feels nicer around the feet. Take nothing away from the Foreverrun though, this is a very comfortable shoe. But its rather firmer tongue that puts minimal pressure on the front of the ankle sets it back a point. The eighth point that I will consider is the lockdown of these shoes. I give the best lockdown to the Puma Foreverrun. It has a gusseted tongue as well as heel and collar foam that help to keep the foot locked in. The Nimbus also offers a perfect lockdown, but with the runner's loop secured, the Foreverrun gave a more unshakable feel. The Invincible gives a decent lockdown though, which gets better with use as the shoe softens, but you will still feel the heel rub as you run. The 9 point is breathability. Again, here the Puma wins very easily. While the other two struggle with breathability, the wind nicely flows through the shoes with the Foreverrun Nitro. Even with stockings on, I could literally feel the wind on my feet as I ran in these shoes. I was pleasantly surprised at the level of breathability it offered, because just merely looking at it, you wouldn't have a clue. The Nike Invincible comes second, while the Nimbus 25, still with a decent breathability, comes third. The 10th point is the speed. Now, the Puma Foreverrun Nitro is the lightest of these three shoes. It is 11 grams lighter than the Nimbus 25 and 30 grams lighter than the Invincible 3. On feet, it was clearly obvious. It was much easier for me to sustain a faster pace for longer in the Puma Foreverrun Nitro than in the other two shoes. The Nimbus 25 here comes a very close second. It was more difficult for me to sustain the same pace for longer in the Nike Invincible 3 than in the other two. So despite being the bounciest, its extra weight drags it back a bit, especially as I began to tire in longer distances. However, at slower paces, the Invincible is a joy to run in. That was when I enjoyed the bouncy ride the most. So for pace, the winner is the Foreverrun Nitro, followed closely by the Gel Nimbus 25, while the Invincible 3 brings up the rear. The 11th point is the toe box. While all three shoes have nicely comfortable toe box width, the Nimbus 25 has a slight edge, as I found it a little more roomy, giving my toes ample freedom of movement. The Invincible comes second, while the Puma brings up the rear. The next point is the outsole. The outsole is thickest in the Invincible 3, followed by the Foreverrun. But is thick always what matters? Abrasive resistance is even more important most times. After 60 to 80 kilometers in these shoes, the Asics surprisingly shows hardly anywhere at all than the other two. The Puma has the least distance, but it is showing as much wear as the Nike that has had about 15 to 20 kilometers more. The summary is that I truly need more miles to be able to speak from my own experience about the outsole durability. But I have seen some 100-mile reviews of the Invincible 3 and Asics, and they are really looking great. I haven't seen much of the 100-mile reviews of the Puma yet, so I will be cautious here. The Asics has a lot of exposed foam, which might suffer in time. The Nike, on the other hand, is fully covered in rubber, and most of the 100-mile reviews are amazing. So I will cautiously be awarding the outsole to the Invincible 3. Second, the Asics, and Puma third. Maybe in a month or two, I can come back and share my own experience. The 13th point is the looks. Now, all three shoes look good, but I think the Nimbus and the Invincible do stand out a bit. They look amazing both with workout gear and casuals. The Invincible 3 has a kind of unique, imposing look, but there's a kind of sleekness and sexiness to the Nimbus 25 that tips it for me. So I will rank the Nimbus 25 first, the Invincible 3 second, and lastly the Puma Foreverrun Nitro. And last but not the least, the price. Here in Saudi Arabia, the Invincible 3 costs 1,150 Saudi Riyal. The Nimbus 25 comes at 949 Saudi Riyal, and the Foreverrun Nitro 895 Saudi Riyal. Again, the Puma scores the Nimbus second, and of course the Invincible the most expensive of the 3 shoes. As a recap, the Invincible wins in 4 points. It wins the arch support, the cushioning, the response, and the outsole. The Nimbus also wins in 4 places: the ride, the comfort, the toe box width, and the looks, and comes second in most of the other points that was assessed. And the Foreverrun wins on the weight, the lockdown, the breathability, the speed, stability, and lastly the price. So if we score 4 points for a win, 2 points for second place, and 1 point for third, then they will be as follows. The Nimbus 25 and Foreverrun tie in 4th place with 34 points, while the Invincible 3 comes third with 30 points. But I would like to highlight some individual differences of these shoes. The Foreverrun offers the best mix of comfort, stability, and lightweight for longer runs. The Nimbus, on the other hand, offers the softest and plush feel for comfortable, easy-to-tempo paces. The Invincible 3 has the best arch support and least chance of a runner's toe, as well as nice bouncy ride at easy paces. But the choice of a shoe will depend on what matters to you the most. For instance, price and looks have nothing to contribute to the running experience if you've got the money. Plus, I did not compare the overall durability of these shoes, which is a key factor in choosing a running shoe because I need more distance to rightly compare them. But I have seen some 100-mile reviews of the Invincible 3 which showed hardly any loss of quality at all, and that will weigh heavily on the choice of the shoe if you don't want to buy another shoe in a very long time. However, the stability of the Foreverrun Nitro sets it apart, so it will be a clear choice for those seeking a nice mix of stability and comfort, and also for older guys with weaker joints. For those like me who love a nice mix of comfort and speed as well as looks, of course, the Gel Nimbus 25 is going to be a nice choice. So in the end, the choice will depend on individual preferences. These are 3 amazing daily trainers of 2023, and you can hardly go wrong with any of them. So guys, this has been my experience running in these 3 amazing shoes. I thank you for watching to the end, and please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out and encourages us to keep making more valuable content. And until the next one, it's goodbye.